Hi guys, in this video we are going to solve the equation using quadratic formula. Now in this case we have all of the variables and the number on the left hand side and 0 on the right hand side. So just to remember that you cannot start solving a quadratic equation by using quadratic formula if you have any non-zero terms on the right. So everything should be moved to the left, which it is in this case. Okay, so then we identify what is a, b, and c. So a is the coefficient of x squared, and in this case it's m squared, it doesn't matter, so that would be 20. B is the coefficient of m, so that would be 30. And finally, the constant term is 7. All right, so now we want to compute the discriminant. So we're going to go to resources on the top right, open Desmos Scientific Calculator. All right, and then we are going to start entering the information. So a equals 20, then you press enter on your keyboard, b equals 30, again enter, c equals 7. Now we want to define the discriminant. So we're just going to type it just like what it says there. So d equals, and it is case sensitive, so be careful. I'm using D capitalized. Okay, so then I'm going to do b, and then to square, just press this button, minus 4ac. Okay, so my discriminant is positive. That tells me that I have two real solutions. However, it is not a nice number in the sense that it is not a square of some number. So that means that I'm going to have two irrational solutions, meaning that they're not going to be fractions or integers. So that means that this calculator is not going to be useful to me anymore because I do not think I can enter decimals in here. I don't think it's going to allow it, or at least it shouldn't. You see where it says the tips decimal values are not allowed? Okay, so that means that I have to carefully substitute into the quadratic formula. So let me write it down. So the quadratic formula, if you define what's under the root as capital D, here's how it looks like. So you go negative b plus square root of d divided by 2a. That's the first solution. The second solution is going to be negative b minus square root of d divided by 2a. Okay, so now let's substitute everything in there. Now, we are lucky that all of our numbers a, b, c are positive, but if they are not, you have to be very, very careful to substitute them in parentheses, okay? But for me, I don't have to worry about that. So instead of b, I'm going to put 30. So it's going to be negative 30 plus square root of d, well, d equals 340, divided by 2a. Okay, so 2a means 2 times 20. That's going to be on the bottom. Now, for the second solution, it's going to be exact same thing, but it'll be a minus. And then again, you're going to have 2 times 20 on the bottom. Okay, so I am ready to type up the answers. First thing I do is I press on the division, like the ratio, right? Okay, on the top I'm gonna put negative 30 plus, okay, so square root of 340. On the bottom I'm gonna simplify 2 times 20, that's 40. Okay, so that's the first solution. Then I put a comma, and then again fraction, negative 30 minus square root of 340, and then divide by 40. Okay, so let's take a look. All right.